Good day and welcome to Corporate Affairs Commission Multimedia Platform. In this video, I'll be guiding you on how to proceed with registration after name reservation for a company. On the search bar of your browser, type pre.cac.gov.ng and click on Enter. You'll be redirected to the home page of the portal. Click on Login. If you do not have an account, please watch the previous video where we taught users how to register as an accredited agent or as a public user. On the login page, type in your username and your password and click on Login. We have now been redirected to the dashboard. On the dashboard, we have not submitted, pending, denied, reserved. Then under registrations, we have not submitted, pending, queried and registered. Not submitted means when you have started name reservation process but you've not submitted it or made payment. Pending is after you have made payment for the name reservation. Denied is when the name is denied. Reserved is when the name has been reserved to start company registration. Under registrations, not submitted means that you've started the registration process but you have not finished, you've not clicked on the submit button to submit to an approving officer. Pending approval means that the application is now with an approving officer. Query means that there's a problem with your application and it was returned by an approving officer for you to comply with. And registered means that the company has been registered. So we'll click on reserved to start the application. Click on Start Registration. In the previous portal, we only had approval notes, but here, instead of copying the availability code to start the registration, you can just click on the Start Registration button and it brings you to your application. So this is the form for company details. That's the first field on this form. You'll be required to select your principal business activity, and then select the classification 2 of your principal business activity. So I'm going to select general contracts here. And then the next field is to type in the description of your principal business activity. So I've done that here. The next is to type the email address. Next we have the company registered address. So you select the state, select local government, type city, town or village, type a postcode, type the house number or building name, and type the street name. On this page, I like to advise people to be careful when entering the registered address. Once you've typed in your street name and selected all this, you don't need to come back here and type in the name of the state or the city, which will lead to replication of what you've just done. So once you type your street name, leave it that way. Don't add your street, your state, local government or village again, because when this address is compiled, everything will be put in together to form your full address. If you have an office address which is different from your registered address, this is the point where you type it. So you select the country, select state, local government, city, town or village, postcode, house number, street name. Once you've completed all the required fields, you click on Save and Continue. A required field is a field that has a red asterisk. If you don't complete any of those fields, you will not be able to proceed. Notice how after I deleted the house number, the green button to Save and Continue was grayed out. Once the required field is completed, the button is enabled and you can proceed to the next stage. On this field is to add objects of memorandum. So click on the Add Object button, type in the objects of your company, and then click on Add. After you've added, you can repeat the process multiple times and then click on Save and Continue. The next step is for the addition of a witness. So we'll fill the form and then we'll click on the Add Witness button. Note that the witness is the one who will appear on the memorandum and articles of association at the end of the company registration process. The details of the witness have been added. We have the surname, first name, other name, phone number, email, occupation, address. You select the country, select the state, select the local government area, type in the postcode if any, type city, town or village, type house number or building name and street name, and then click on Add Witness button. These are the details we entered. You can edit or delete the witness as required. So the next step is to add the articles of association. You can either add custom articles or adopt the default articles. So I'm going to click on the Add button. This is the template for the addition of custom articles. You can fill in the part, title, subtitle, content, and then add paragraphs where required. Once you've done that, you click on the Add button. You click on the Add button and your articles are added. For the purpose of this test, I'm going to click on Adopt Default Articles. This is what the default articles look like. You can take out time to go through it. At the bottom of the page, we'll click on Save and Continue. The next step is to add directors of the company. We can see that this director is already added. This is because the account being used is the account of a public user. As an accredited agent, we will not show as a director on the company. But if you add your email address under any of the directors you've added, the action part will not be released for you to edit or delete the director, because the system believes that your details are already stored in the system. So I'll click on the Add Director button to start the process. This is the form to add a new director. You'll be required to fill all the required fields asterisked in red, and then click on Save and Continue. So let's fill the form. The form has been completed. We have the surname, first name, and other name of the director if any. We'll have the date of birth. Select the date of birth. You click on the calendar, click on the year, and use the arrow to select the year you want to select. Once you do that, the months will be populated. So you select the month and then the date. After that, select gender, select nationality, type in former name and former nationality if any, type the phone number, email address, and occupation, and then we have the service address. The service address is the address that will show on the public record. So type the address you wish to show on the public record. Like we said before, when typing the address, remember to type only the street name, since you've selected your country, state, and local government, and you've also typed the city. Don't repeat it on your street name. Once we've done the service address, we'll repeat the same process for residential address. There's a button here which is a new feature. It says Hide Address, Residential Address from Public Record. If you toggle this button, you'll be charged an additional 25,000 naira to hide the address of your director. So I'm going to uncheck it. And this 25,000 naira applies to all directors. So the next field, the final field on the form, is the means of identification. You select one of the means of identification from the drop-down menu and type in the identity number. Once you are done, click on Add Director, and the new director is added. You can click on the Edit button to edit or Delete button to delete. Click on Save and Continue. The next step is for the addition of a company secretary. To do that, if you know that the company is a small company, you can click on this link here to skip, or you click on the Add Individual Secretary or Add Corporate Secretary buttons. To add an individual secretary, click on the Add Individual Secretary button. The form is displayed below. fill the form, starting with the surname, first name, and other name if any. Select the date of birth, gender, nationality, former name and former nationality, phone number, email address, occupation. Type the registered address of the secretary, select the means of identification, and click on the Add Secretary button. I've already done that, so I'm going to edit this user to show you. So these are the details of the secretary. I've completed the form. So I'll click on the Add Secretary button and it displays the details of the secretary at the bottom of the page. To add a corporate secretary, you click on the button and repeat the process. Note that for a corporate secretary, it must be a company or an entity registered in Nigeria. So you will type in the registration number of the company, populate the name of the company. Once you click on the name, it shows you details of the company, the ones already in the database. You fill all the other required fields and click on the Add Secretary button. So I'll proceed to the next step.